When a sailboat leaves its moorings, it doesn't carry with it everything it needs for the journey. Sailing depends upon utilizing a renewable resource that one cannot generate, the wind. It cannot be manufactured, only captured and utilized. The life of faith is like that, and so too is love in a marriage. Though you have what you need to begin your journey here, you do not have everything you need to sustain that journey together. And when the ideal of marriage becomes an ordeal, just remember there's a renewable source, an unlimited supply of what you will need in the future. The challenge is learning to channel and to set your sails and let it lift you. Let love be genuine. It sounds so simple, like you just have to allow it to happen. Let love be genuine. It's been a delight to get to know these two over this past year through Zoom meetings from across the country. But I think my primary qualification for officiating today was I'm 6'3". These past 15 months in lockdown has revealed much. It's required much. Flexibility, adaptability, caution, creativity. These are all virtues that will serve you well in the years ahead. We're learning, I think, anew how fragile everything is. Our health, our communities, our time together, our economy. Things that seemed so secure 2 years ago seem much less secure. But also, the opposite is true. Things that we take for granted and consider fragile are proving to be the very stuff you can build a life on. Our promises to one another, our family commitments, our homes become landing pads like never before, but they're also launching pads for our lives. And they're built on something as fragile as the promises that we make and keep with one another. The love between these two began some years ago at Occidental College. Both were students at the time and both were on the swim team. And something began there, some spark between the two of you that not all of those hours in the pool could extinguish. And for 7 years, they've managed to grow that love and commitment to this point where we see them here today. This isn't the capstone moment of your life. This is the cornerstone moment, the foundation upon which all else is built. Marriages begin when you marry the one you love, but they blossom when you love the one you marry. Here, in this moment, in this place, you're giving up what you can never keep for that which you can never lose. There are many symbols of love here in this service. One is behind me, the cross, and it's an enduring reminder that love never comes cheap. It will cost you everything. Matthew and Rachel, since it's your intention to marry, I'll ask you to join your hands and with your promises to bind yourselves to one another as husband and wife. Matthew, will you repeat after me? I take you, Rachel.
I take you, Rachel,
to be my wife.
to be my wife.
I promise before God
I promise before God
and these witnesses
and these witnesses
to be your faithful husband,
to be your faithful husband,
to share with you
to share with you
in plenty and in want,
in plenty and in want,
in joy and in sorrow,
in joy and in sorrow,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to forgive and strengthen you,
to forgive and strengthen you,
and to join with you,
and to join with you,
so that together
we may serve God
and others
and others
as long as we both shall live.
as long as we both shall live.
Rachel, will you repeat after me? I take you, Matthew,
I take you, Matthew,
to be my husband.
to be my husband.
I promise before God
I promise before God
and these witnesses
and these witnesses
to be your faithful wife,
to be your faithful wife,
to share with you
to share with you
in plenty and in want,
in plenty and in want,
in joy and in sorrow,
in joy and in sorrow,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to forgive and strengthen you,
to forgive and strengthen you,
and to join with you
and to join with you,
so that together
we may serve God
and others
and others
as long as we both shall live.
as long as we both shall live.
What do you bring as a sign of your promise? Why don't you take them out? Thank you. Let us pray. And now, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up the light of his countenance upon you and give you peace, now and forevermore.
and I couldn't be more proud of you, all that you've accomplished, all that you're going to accomplish. And now you have the person by your side who makes you better, who makes you more complete. Hopefully you do the same for her. And we can't wait to spend the rest of our lives on your journey together with the Wilsons and the Weisers together. I also want to take this opportunity to raise a glass to Rick and Joanne for putting on this beautiful event, for creating this wonderful celebration of the union of our two families. To Rick and Joanne, thank you. Mazel tov.
I can't thank you enough for coming. Given the year and a half we've all had, I'm sure for most of us this is the first plane ride, the first event, the first unmasked evening. For all of those reasons, we're blessed and thankful that you could all be here. The community of a wedding is a beautiful thing, and it prompts reunions and togetherness, and it's fabulous. So we're really happy you've been here, especially. And Sam and Susan, welcome to our family and all your crazy ass relatives that we love. And now a word about the newlyweds. Matt and Rachel, you've gone from teammates to best friends to now husband and wife. We, especially me, welcome you to our family. I've been surrounded by females, even the dogs, for my entire life. So you are my son now. All due respect to Sam and Susan. I needed a little testosterone to juice things up a bit. And we've seen firsthand your love and devotion and your care for Rachel. And speaking as her dad, I cannot tell you how much that means to me. I've seen how you treat her, how you respect her. I can't imagine having a better son and a better partner for my daughter, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And now, Rachel, my Ruru, my Rachie, even before your arrival, I told your mother, before we knew what you were gonna be, I just want to have a beautiful daughter. And I got two. You've come so far, and I can't even tell you how proud I am of you. Your humor, your intellectual curiosity, your empathy. Amanda and Mom and I have just been the recipients of that since you were a teeny little girl. And now Matt gets all of that for him. To Rachel and Matt.
It is just so crazy and wonderful and surreal to be here with all of you. I have never been in a room where I've known every single person, and that is just such a wonderful thing, and we're so grateful that you're all here tonight. Over the past 6+ years, you have all been such an important part of our story, and this day truly would not be the same without each and every one of you.
Let me take an opportunity to say that we hope you're all having a great time tonight. What a wonderful celebration it has been and will continue being. First, to my two brothers, Peter and John, you're both always there for me, and I know that no matter what, I can always come to you with anything, and you'll strategize with me about how to deal with it. And finally, I want to give a big thank you to my Nana. It has been an unbelievably tough year without being able to see you, and the longest I have ever gone without seeing you in my life. And I truly could not have imagined spending today without you here.
And then I'd just like to especially thank my parents for hosting this absolutely perfect evening. Planning a wedding in a pandemic was certainly not easy, and with the bride casually 3,000 miles away. But words cannot adequately express how grateful I am to you both. And I mean, it turned out pretty amazing, so maybe you didn't need me after all. Oh, but seriously, mans, you are my oldest and truest friend. I'm the older sister, but honestly, I look up to you more than you could ever possibly know, and it is an honor to have you standing with me today. So much so that I didn't need a bridal party, just one.
I can't stand up here without thanking my parents for raising me into who I have become. You knew early on how special Rachel was and gave me arguably the best advice I've ever received in my life, which was, don't mess this up. Don't worry, I took that to heart.